Welcome to the Generational Wealth Podcast. Guys, Elon Musk is the richest man in the world. Today, I'm going to show you his top 10 keys to success so that you can learn how to create generational wealth for you and your family. All I need you to do is smash that like button. Guys, I'm so happy to be back. Thank you for being on. Shout out to everybody who's checked out my 3 Keys to Financial Freedom webinar. Guys, this is something totally free that I put together so that you can learn how to create generational wealth. I mean, this is the Generational Wealth Podcast, isn't it? So I have this free masterclass to show you how to stop trading time for money and how to replace your 9-to-5 income. When you study the habits of millionaires, the average millionaire has over 7 different streams of income. So if you want to know how the world's wealthiest people have built their fortune, you need to tune in. All you got to do is click the link in the comments below, and I'm going to show you guys how you can start creating generational wealth. I'm going to show you how you can start creating residual streams of income without being on a fixed salary, because that's the truth for most people in this life. Most people work at a 9-to-5 job. They only have one stream of income, and they are locked into whatever their salary is. They're locked into a fixed wage. If you want to create wealth, you have to open yourself up to new streams of income. You've got to get out of the rat race. So click the link in the comments below, and I'll give you guys access to my free masterclasses. All you guys got to do, okay? So listen. We got a lot going on in this show today, y'all. I want to thank all of y'all for tuning in. Speaking of creating generational wealth and making money, I want to tell you guys about how you can get on my channel and promote your business for free. That's right. For all of you guys that are looking to start new businesses, I want to feature your business on my programs. So all you have to do is leave me a comment. Let me know who you are and what your business is about, and I want to give your business free promo. Entrepreneurship is one of the keys to wealth creation. If you want to get in this game and get out of the 9-to-5, let me know and I will promote your business on my platform for free. Now, you know that this platform would not be possible if it was not for our show sponsors. So I want to take a quick moment to give a big shout out to all of our sponsors of the Generational Wealth Podcast. So first up, guys, I want to say thank you to Yasha Allah. Y'all know I got to start with him. Y'all know Yasha Allah is one of the top dogs on the channel, one of the head honchos. He's a senior man of wisdom, much wisdom, so much labor of love that he has for the people as well as the community. Guys, make sure that when you see this brother on the podcast, you definitely give him a round of applause. Make sure that you show him much respect. Make sure that you also show a lot of love to my brother, Ak Aman. Ak Aman holding it down in the great state of Louisiana. Another entrepreneur, has an exceptional car detailing business. I'm telling y'all, I want to move to Louisiana for no other reason than for this brother to wash my car, man. I'm telling you, this way this brother wash cars, he make the car look better than what it is when you first get it off the lot. I don't know how he does it, but he got that gift, and he's been so nice in sharing some of his blessings with our channel. So thank you. Also, I want to give a big shout out to my brother Lyra Texan, coming from Central Texas. Man, there's so many great sponsors. I would be here on here all day telling y'all about all these folks. LA for Life, Ariel, Juice. I ain't forgot about none of y'all. Thank you so much for being sponsors on this podcast. And if you want to know what it means to be a sponsor, this is what it is, okay? When you donate to this channel, you become a sponsor. The shows cannot run without your support. So if you appreciate all of the value that comes from these podcasts, please make sure that you tap the dollar icon directly below the live chat box so that you can donate. Guys, I put a lot of time, energy, and love into every single show. So your support goes a long way. And as you know, if you've watched this in the past, whoever makes the highest donation will be the official sponsor for the podcast. And that's a big deal. It gets very competitive. It gets very real. I don't know who's going to be on, but I know one thing: when the donations start coming in, folks get serious about becoming an official sponsor. So if you want to be a sponsor, once again, all you got to do is donate. You could do it through Super Chat by tapping the dollar icon directly below, or you could go to Cash App or PayPal to make your donations. The information is at the bottom of the screen. Even if you're watching this broadcast after the live stream is over, you can still donate. All you got to do is click the links in the description below. Now, let's get into this talk, guys. Let's get into what Elon Musk knows about generational wealth. Shout out to Ariel, holding it down for the great state of Texas. She says that she's looking forward to the show. I'm happy to be back, okay? Let's talk about Elon Musk. You know, Elon Musk is the richest man in the world. So if we're going to talk about creating generational wealth, obviously we can't talk about it if we don't talk about the world's richest man. How did he build his riches, and what things can we pull from his life and his business so that way we can level up ourselves? That's what this is all about. So I'm going to start putting a little information on the screen. I don't know how many of y'all out there know who Elon Musk is. For all of my guys that are out there trying to build wealth and set up new streams of income, you should know a little bit about him. You need to know who the movers and shakers are, because you need to study success. Now, it says Elon Musk is an entrepreneur, investor, and business magnate. In other words, the man is a boss. He is the founder, CEO, and chief engineer at SpaceX, early stage investor, CEO, and product architect of Tesla Inc., founder of the Boring Company. That's the company that he has where he's building underground tunnels, and co-founder of Neuralink and OpenAI, with an estimated net worth of around $273 billion as of April 2022. Musk is the wealthiest person in the world, according to both the Bloomberg Billionaires Index and the Forbes Real-Time Billionaires List. Now, a lot of you guys have probably heard about Elon Musk in the past. You've probably heard about him through Tesla. Right now, he's trying to buy Twitter. But I want y'all to see what Wikipedia says about his wealth. All right, we're going to scroll all the way down, get past all of this fluff, and we're going to go into the wealth. It says at the start of 2020, Musk had a net worth of $27 billion. Now, the first thing that I want y'all to pick up on is within 2 years' time, this man jumped from 27 billion all the way to over $300 billion. This is the reason why one of the keys to building wealth is momentum. When you're first getting started, the first 100,000 is the hardest. But as you're growing and you're working your way up, it becomes easier to make money over time. Guys, I always tell you this. I own over $1 million worth of real estate. And it's so much easier now to make money past the million point with my real estate than before I had any property at all. You know, when you're first getting started, it feels like it's almost impossible to get your foot in the door. But once you can make it through, that's when things really start to take off. If you're not there yet, stay focused. Keep working. It's coming. At the start of 2020, Musk had a net worth of $27 billion. By the year's end, his net worth had increased by $150 billion. So, guys, we got to understand how to think big. You're reading about a man who, in 1 year, increased his net worth by over $100 billion. So, why do we think it's so hard to make a six-figure income? Why do we think that it's so hard to build wealth? Elon Musk is no smarter. I want to say that because I was pausing on saying that because some of y'all will hear that and be like, come on, Uzziah. No, that's cap. What I'm trying to express is that Elon Musk, he breathes the same air as us. He's got to put on his pants the same way as every other man, 1 foot at a time. So don't think, oh man, Elon Musk, a super genius, I could never work as hard as he does. You have the ability to do great things too. And I want you to notice, if there are people that are out here growing their net worth by $100 billion in 1 year, what's stopping you from starting your company? What's stopping you from making your first $1 million? What's stopping you except for everything that's going on right here? Largely driven by his ownership of around 20% of Tesla stock. During this, Musk's net worth was often volatile. For example, it dropped $16.3 billion in September, the largest single-day plunge in the history of the Bloomberg Billionaires Index. What that shows you is that the richest people in the world, they go through highs and lows. It's not just us. In fact, I would argue that the most successful people in the world have bigger trials and bigger problems that they go through than the average person. It's just that once they've gone through their trials, they know how to get back up and keep going. In November of that year, Musk passed Facebook co-founder Mark Zuckerberg to become the third richest person in the world. A week later, he passed Microsoft co-founder Bill Gates. These are some big names, to become the second richest. In January 2021, Musk, with a net worth of $150 billion, surpassed Amazon founder Jeff Bezos to become the richest person in the world. Bezos reclaimed the top spot the following month, because Jeff Bezos don't play. Amazon don't play. Amazon is a monster. On September 27th, 2021, Forbes announced that Musk had a net worth of over $200 billion and was the richest person in the world after Tesla stock surge. Now, I got to take a quick pause, y'all, because I got to tell y'all why Elon Musk is leading the future. The reason why Elon Musk is dominating this current world is because Tesla stock is taking off. Man, I was so happy to be a Tesla investor in 2021 because I put money towards Tesla stock and Tesla stock went through the roof. Tesla stock is one of the key reasons how I was able to make $1 million worth of real estate, because I invested into Tesla stock, took the gains from it, and then invested into real estate properties in the great state of Texas. And now I'm talking to you on YouTube today. Okay. So you guys got to understand, when you're looking at these rich people, don't just think, oh, that's all on them. Good for them. Don't look at this with envy. See how you can have a seat at the table. If Elon Musk is outdoing Jeff Bezos on building wealth, then I want to be an owner of his company. I want to own shares. All of these things are publicly traded, guys. So what's stopping you from being a part of the growth? It says Forbes announced that Musk had a net worth of over $200 billion and was the richest person in the world after Tesla stock surged. In November 2021, Musk became the first person with a net worth over $300 billion. Now, I'm not going to read this whole thing, but I want you to notice the bottom of this paragraph. It says, Musk has repeatedly described himself as cash poor and has professed to have little interest in the material trappings of wealth. In 2012, Musk signed the Giving Pledge, and in May 2020, pledged to sell almost all physical possessions. In 2021, Musk defended his wealth by saying he is accumulating resources to help make life multiplanetary. For those of y'all that don't know, he's trying to set up life on Mars and extend the light of consciousness to the stars. In the early 2000s, Musk was a private pilot, his favorite aircraft then being the L-39 Albatros, though he decided to stop piloting by 2008. He uses a private jet owned by SpaceX and acquired a second jet in August 2020. Now, the reason why Elon Musk uses a private jet is because it allows him to travel from California to Texas much faster than getting on a regular airplane. Y'all got to see how, when you look at guys like Elon Musk and Warren Buffett, even though they won't spend a lot of money on material things, they're willing to spend money on things that will help them make money faster, things that will help them become more effective in business. So, guys, I just wanted to give y'all this brief background on the world's richest man. And the reason why I'm doing this is because if you want to build wealth, you have to study wealth. It's as simple as that. You can't just wake up one day and say, okay, well, you know what? I want to make money. You don't know the first thing about how to do it at the top level. Yeah, you might be hearing things from family members and friends, but you got to think about the goals that you have for your life. How did Henry Ford build his wealth? How did Bill Gates? How is Elon Musk doing it? That's what we're going over in today's podcast. So please make sure that y'all smash that like button and share this podcast on your social media outlets. Guys, I want to share with you one of the newest things that Elon Musk said. A lot of y'all know he's already trying to buy Twitter, making a whole lot of noise. But this is something that he recently said on a TED interview. For those of y'all that have heard about the TED Talk, TED interviewed Elon Musk. And in the interview, this is what he had to say. He said, yeah, I'm rich, but I couch surf wherever I go. Now, this is crazy. This is the richest man in the world, and he doesn't even own a home. Why is it that the world's wealthiest people do things totally different? See, this is the reason why authors like Rob Kiyosaki came out with the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad, because wealthy people move a different way. You might think that they spend all of their money shopping and buying Ferraris, but when you start to study the secrets of wealth, you'll notice something totally different. This is not to idolize all of these other people because they're no better than you. It's so that way you can see what it is that they do, so that way you can copy the best practices for yourself. This is about us soaking up game so we can bring it back to our homes, bring it back to our communities. Elon Musk might be the richest man on earth, but he isn't consuming an absurdly large amount of stuff for himself. In fact, it's the opposite because he's kind of homeless. That's crazy. It says the Tesla chief made the startling revelation in TED interview that surfaced over the weekend, in which he defended his many billions of dollars by arguing it actually isn't as problematic as some make it seem, because he isn't using any of that wealth on or for himself. Watch. Elon Musk says if he was spending upwards of $1 billion on himself with frivolous and environmentally harmful toys like a yacht or whatever, sure, the criticism would be warranted. But he says that's simply not what he uses his money for, pointing out he doesn't even own a home at the moment. Now, y'all know what's so crazy? As I was reading this article, I was noticing the NBA ad right on the side of the page. And I'm like, man, ain't no way I'm going to be getting this message out to all of these different guys and they're going to be reading the article instead of looking at what's going on in the playoffs. But guys, you got to ask yourself a question. Is Elon Musk focused on the playoffs, or is Elon Musk focused on game-changing wealth? Is Elon Musk focused on distractions and entertainment, or is he focused on getting to the next level? If you want to be among the best, you got to do what the best do. So don't get surprised if you see all these different ads on these different sites to try to pull you away and take your money. We need to focus on what the top 1% is focusing on to build wealth creation. The Tesla chief made the starting revelation in the TED interview that surfaced over the weekend. He says he's not spending the money on himself, the hundreds of billions. He's got to be spending something, y'all. But it says he's simply not using the money like that, pointing out he doesn't even own a home at the moment. Now, that's crazy because a lot of us own homes. Some of y'all got multiple homes. Elon says that's absolutely shocking, but even more surprising is where he says he sleeps at night. According to Elon, the dude bums it and couch surfs with his friends from all over the world. So when dude travels, and you got to go and check out the TED interview yourself, he'll talk about if he goes to one of his offices that's in the Bay Area, he'll just stay at a friend's house. They'll have an extra room. He'll just stay there for the night, and then he'll get back to work. He's not spending his time focused on all of these random things. See, we think that the American dream has taught us everybody's got to own a house. Everybody's got to live life one kind of a way. But when you study the top people, you'll notice they're always a little different. Don't you notice that? Why do you think that they're not doing the same thing as everybody else? Well, it's because the average person watches television 5 hours a day. The average person is living paycheck to paycheck. So if you want great results, you've got to get out of average thinking. Elon Musk says he often stays in spare bedrooms of theirs rather than in any one house of his. Now, I know that some of y'all are looking at this and being like, oh, wow, Uzziah, you really believe that? Man, you'll believe anything. These guys, they just get on here and they just say whatever. That ain't real. This guy probably got 20 billion mansions. It's probably 30 trillion square feet. He's got a golden shower, a golden bathtub. They have servants that say, is the royal penis clean, your highness? Like all of these different things, right? You think that, but what does that have to do with you? Even if Elon Musk was capping in all of this, he's still giving you one of the secrets to your success. Do you know how many millionaires were sleeping on somebody's couch before they came up? Do you know how many millionaires were homeless before they got their big break? I'm showing you guys, there's a middle class in America that has a nice home and a nice car, but some of the people that get to the upper class don't live like that. Some people went from having nothing to overnight, it seemed, they became a success in their business. But that's because they were focusing quietly for years. They were not spending all of their money on depreciating assets. They were constantly focused into their business, putting in their time, their money, and their labor of love. Now, let me take a quick pause and let me look at y'all's comments. Y'all, leave me a comment and let me know what y'all think about everything that Elon is saying. Leave me a comment. Let me know your name. Let me know where you're from. And if you're enjoying this podcast, please make sure that you donate to keep this show on air. Okay. Let's go back now to the article. Elon Musk. This guy says he's a couch surfer. I don't know how many of y'all believe it. He says he often stays in spare bedrooms of theirs rather than in any one house of his. This is a bit of a 180 from where he said he was living last year while discussing his Texas SpaceX headquarters, where he was proud to show off his 375 square foot one bed. 375 square foot one bed. This is a different type of life, y'all. I'm gonna keep it a buck. A lot of us, myself included, if we had this type of money, there is no way in hell we would be couch surfing at anybody's house. There's no way that we would be sitting up in this little tiny 375 square foot one bedroom. If it was us that had that kind of money, we would ball out. But you want to know what's one of the things that's so crazy, guys, about that? Maybe that's the reason why we're not Elon Musk. Maybe one of the reasons why we don't have his wealth is because we're a lot more focused on buying all of these different toys than actually building something of value. And I know it hurts to say that, but it might be true. Just something to think about. Based on what he's saying here and now, Elon might have ditched that modest pad and opted for an even more stripped down lifestyle, aka no property at all. One other point, Elon argues that most of his money, by and large, is going towards the greater good of mankind, evidenced in the products and his tech companies churn out. Now, this is all very interesting, y'all. And I'm going to give you guys my take on Elon. I'm going to give you guys the top 10 secrets to his success based upon all of the moves that he's made. Y'all got to realize Elon didn't just come up off of Tesla. Elon played a major part in PayPal, then moved on to Tesla, also got SpaceX. Like, this guy does a lot of things. And if we can just extract a tiny portion of what he's doing, we could put it into our personal lives so that way we can get more results. When you study the habits of wealthy people, it's important to identify the things that they do well while still being the best version of your own self. These podcasts are not telling you guys to be Elon Musk, but it is telling you to have the wisdom of the things that he does that would work well for you. Okay. Shout out to Dylon from Los Angeles. You know, I said Dylon because of Dave Chappelle's show. I know that it's really probably pronounced Dylan. Welcome, Dylan. It says, are there any clear patterns among people this wealthy? The patterns can be financial, intellectual, etc. Absolutely. And that's exactly what I'm going to talk about right now for the rest of this podcast. I'm going to tell you guys the 10 top keys to his success. So, number one, Elon cares more about his vision than he does his wealth. When you study people like Elon Musk and Steve Jobs, they weren't focused on the money, they were focused on their vision. The money is just a byproduct of the success. When you have a vision that keeps you up at night, that's what you want to bring to the world. A lot of us spend so much time focusing on all of these different toys to look rich that we don't actually pattern ourselves after the people who are rich. I remember I was watching this video, guys, where Elon Musk might have, I think he was going to a Kanye concert. Him and Kanye are friends. And I'm watching Elon Musk in the backstage. I think he might have been next to French Montana or one of these rap guys. And the rapper had on like 10 billion chains, 2 to 3 different watches and bands on their wrists. Elon Musk is standing right next to him in a t-shirt. Now, here it is. The guy that has on all of this flashy jewelry is a multimillionaire, but the guy that's worth over $300 billion, he's in like $50 worth of clothes from top to bottom. Where are we placing our priorities? See, there's nothing wrong with having nice things here and nice things there, but a lot of us overdo it. A lot of us focus a lot more on the toys and living in the lap of luxury of perceived success rather than truly being successful by getting your vision off the ground. A lot of us are a lot more focused on being consumers rather than producers. But guys, being a producer is the key to wealth. We've got to focus on being the part rather than looking the part. I mean, we could even look at somebody else. We could look at Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett, another billionaire, one of the richest people in the world, lives in the exact same house that he bought in 1958. Guys, this man has enough money to buy any house in the world, multiple homes. But for some reason, he spends a lot more of his time and money on his passions than he does random things. These guys build wealth because they're passionate about their work. And if you just do things for money alone and you're not passionate, you're not going to last very long. You have to be obsessed about your calling in order for it to work. I want you guys to think about something that Steve Jobs said before he passed away. There's this interview that he had with Bill Gates. You could look it up. It's on YouTube. And when they asked Bill Gates and Steve Jobs, what is the key to your success? Steve Jobs said, you have to be obsessed about what it is that you're doing. Because if you're not obsessed, you're going to give up. Why? Because it gets too hard. See, a lot of you guys want to start businesses, but you're intimidated by the work. If you're really obsessed about something, you're going to give it your all. Guys, I am obsessed about the things that I dedicate my time to, whether we're talking about the church, whether we're talking about educating the community, about the basics of personal finance. These are things that make me always want to push that much harder. When you're obsessed about something, it doesn't feel like work. So you got to figure out what is it that truly drives you and make you tick, that you could do it day in and day out. You can talk about it day in and day out. You eat it, you sleep it, you breathe it. That's what the wealthy knows. They understand that your life is going to be the byproduct of whatever your obsession is. So if you want to truly create generational wealth, rather than focusing on the wealth alone, focus on your vision, because your vision and tapping into your gift is what brings the wealth to the table. Now, let's talk about the second thing. The second key thing that Elon and the top 1% all do is think big. And the masses of people have been beaten in society to think all you should do is think small. Don't cause too many problems. Don't make a scene. Fit in with the rest of the crowd. That's where everybody likes you. But when you study the habits of the most successful people, they always stand out, then blend in. They're always looking for a competitive advantage. Guys, we got to think about this. See, it's not that Elon Musk is better than you, but the way that he thinks is unprecedented. You know, the average person spends time thinking about what they want to eat for dinner, what clothes they're going to wear, the next place that they're going to travel to. Elon Musk is trying to figure out, how do I put people on an outer space? How do I get them to Mars? How do I get this rocket off the ground? How do I take these electric cars and make them sexy? We all got 24 hours in a day, but your success comes down to how you use it. A lot of us think small. It was programmed into us when we were young. You know, you may have grown up in a bad community. The people around you might not have had a lot of money. Wealth was a foreign concept. So when you had dreams in your life on the things that you wanted to do, maybe they discouraged you. Maybe they said, that's just a dream. Nobody does that. You really think that you're going to start your own business and make real money? You really think that you're going to invest in real estate? Man, that's only for the guys like Donald Trump. That's only for other communities. You know, the way that you look, you're not supposed to have money here. You're just supposed to be slinging drugs. We got to get out of whatever toxic mindset is holding us back from true wealth. Because there's so much gifts that we bring to society, so much creativity, so much style. But if we always think small, we're going to end with small numbers. And this is the reason why I always tell you guys about the magic of thinking big. This is one of my favorite books that was ever written. You guys got to read it. Check out The Magic of Thinking Big by David Schwartz, because whatever level that you're thinking on now, you got to start thinking 10 times beyond that. Because if your dreams don't scare you, you're not dreaming big enough. The reason why a lot of us tend to think small is because that's where we find our comfort zone. When we start to think big, we get intimidated because we realize what type of person we would have to be in order to achieve those kind of results. But while you're living, ask yourself, what life do you really want to live? By the time that this is all said and done, what type of person do you really want to be? So is it worth it for you to take the time to think big, even if it scares you? Or do you want to spend the rest of your life playing small in mediocrity? Yeah, it might feel comfortable in the short term, but in the long run, think about how miserable you will be. Think about all of the people that are in retirement homes today, guys. Think about all of these people that only have 1 year left to live. Those that are terminally ill. You go up to people, you ask them, hey, what do you wish you would have done differently about your life if you could have done it all over again? You know what they say? I would have dreamed bigger. I would have been bold enough to walk into my dreams rather than making an excuse, rather than going along to get along. Because nobody says at the end of the day, man, you know what? I wish I could have watched more TV. I wish I could have spent more time texting people. No, people want to spend their life living their dream, but there's only a certain number of people who are actually bold enough to do it. And as we can see, Elon Musk is one of them. Regardless on if you agree with his policies, you need to take this to figure out your own policy. You need to find out what's going to make you stand out from the rest of society. But let's look at these comments. Lupe says, hi, Uzziah. All glory to God and congratulations to you and your beautiful family. Thank you so much, Lupe. I really, really appreciate that. Hey, I'm just trying to get on your level, Lupe, okay? We are one baby in. For those of y'all that don't know, I just recently was blessed with my firstborn son, little Uzziah. So thank you all so much for all of your prayers, your support, your donations. It has really been beautiful, guys, because, man, I tell you, this boy, this boy be keeping me up at night, y'all. It's getting better. And if he can just have another night like what he had last night, you might be seeing some more shows from your boy. All right. Keep me in your prayers, y'all, so that way we keep this thing going. What education helped you feel free to live in this way? Self-education. This did not come from college. I am a college graduate from Baylor University. In 2010, I graduated with a Bachelor of Arts in Business Management. My concentration was in Management Information Systems. And one thing that I could tell you about formal education is it programs you to graduate into a job. It programs you to graduate into a 9-to-5 system. When you truly study how schools were created, you'll notice that schools were invented during the industrial age to start getting more laborers into factory work. It was never intended for people to be their own business owners like Elon Musk, but rather to make the business owners rich. So when Biosphere is a geek asked the question, what education helped you feel free to live in this way? It damn sure wasn't from a college degree. This was from doing what I'm doing right now. Looking at people who are much farther ahead than me and asking, how did you get there? You know, Elon Musk, how did you get there? Bill Gates, how did you get there? I'm looking at guys, some of which dropped out of college, and I would sit back and ask myself, well, if college is the key, then why did Henry Ford revolutionize the world only having like a third grade education? These are the things that makes you really sit back and use critical thinking to say, what things do we need to learn that is not being traditionally taught? And that's the reason why the pioneer of personal development, Jim Rohn, said, formal education will make you a living. Self-education will make you a fortune. I spent 5 years in college at 2 major universities, and my best training came from the books I read after college voluntarily than all of the different courses of study that I had in school. I went to school to study business, but I learned a lot more about business from real entrepreneurs than I did from college professors. So thank you so much. Great question. Let's keep the questions coming, guys, because I think that one was really awesome. And thanks once again for the congrats for the new child in the world. Yes. You know, one of the things that I have as a goal in my life is to be able to pass down this business to him. This is a way of creating generational wealth. So guys, if y'all are on, make sure that y'all smash that like button. Tonight, we're talking about what Elon Musk knows about generational wealth. We need to be responsible to study success and bring it into our personal lives so that way we can get the things that we want out of life. Now, the third major key to Elon's success is solving big problems. Guys, if you don't walk away with nothing else, I want you to walk away with this. You will get paid in direct proportion to the size of the problems that you solve. You will get paid in direct proportion to the size of the problem that you solve. So if you want to make money, but you want to go to work just pressing some random button, you're not going to make a lot of money. You're not going to build wealth. You get paid based upon the size of the problem that you can solve in the marketplace. Okay, guys, think about this. Think about how many people's careers are being automated by machines. You got a lot of people losing jobs all because the basic things that they do can be done by a robot. You got to think about, okay, well, what are some of the most complex challenges within this world? Problems that people really have. And if I can develop a solution, then somebody's going to be willing to pay me for the answer. Guys, think about this. What if right now you had the cure to cancer? What if you had the cure to AIDS? Do you think that you would still be broke in 12 months from today? Or do you think that people would be lining up to get the cure? So many people throughout the universe struggle with this. So many people lose their lives every single day due to these problems. But if you had the solution to these problems, you would find yourself financially free. The reason why so many people struggle to make money is because they are not solving big problems. If you want to make real money, you have to solve real problems. You will get paid in direct proportion to the size of the problem that you solve. Okay, so let me give you guys an example. Some of you guys are good with cars, but you only fix your car. Well, what if you fix 100 people's cars? Well, you would be solving a problem on a greater scale. Because you now solve 100 people's problems of fixing their car rather than just fixing yours, well, now you're going to get paid by 100 people. You've got people out here that are fixing 1,000 people's cars. Look at Pep Boys. Look at Firestone. What do? They get paid to solve the problem of fixing people's cars. And there's a lot of people that have car problems in the world. Think about airlines. You get some people that travel down the street and walk. Nobody's paying you to walk. But if you know how to take a person from Hawaii to Japan, well, then maybe people will pay you a little bit more money. You get paid in direct proportion to the size of the problems that you solve. If you own one real estate property, that's solving problems on a small scale. But if you own 1,000 real estate properties, okay, now you are addressing big things. This is the reason why you'll look at guys like Donald Trump and they'll make a lot more money than somebody who's just getting started. You've got to do things on a bigger scale. And you know the thing that's so crazy about this bigger scale? See, this is about the magic of thinking big. At the end of the day, you're going to spend the energy somewhere. The same energy that you could be putting towards solving energy problems, I'm talking about with electricity, that's all going towards the latest gossip, the latest drama, what he said, what she said, what this person is fighting about on Facebook. You're going to expend the energy doing something. So if you're going to expend the energy and let the energy go, why not put the energy towards the biggest problem possible? All these other guys, they got 24 hours in a day, just like you. But the difference is they put their energy towards the world's biggest problems. And that's the reason why they're walking away with the world's biggest paychecks. It is very simple. Guys, the principles of wealth creation are simple, but they're not easy to execute all of the time. It would make sense that you got to solve big problems, but it's easier said than done. You know, everybody not trying to be Elon Musk and learn how to build an underground tunnel. Everybody not trying to be, Warren Buffett and know everything about the world of investing. You got to figure out what works for you. You got to figure out, what am I obsessed about? What drives me? And how can you take on the biggest problems within that industry? Here's the next thing. If you want to study success, build the future that you want. That's what you see from guys like an Elon Musk. See, Elon Musk, he's not comfortable living by the status quo. He wants to live in a world where electric cars run great. Electric cars look great. Electric cars are at a certain price. That's his dream. Before Tesla came out, people wasn't even talking about electric cars like that. How many people have you really seen driving electric cars in style before Tesla came out? You're witnessing the manifestation of somebody's vision. Guys, listen to me. Everything that you see in this life is the manifestation of somebody's vision. Y'all see me talking into this microphone right here? Somebody at one point in time had to envision a microphone. I didn't think about it, but I'm benefiting off of it. You have to make a vision for yourself. Somebody envisioned YouTube. Somebody envisioned a camera. Somebody envisioned streaming services. You got to think about, what is the thing for you? But you know what the problem is, guys? So many people want to get co-signed by small-minded people. So many people want to be validated by those who have no goals or dreams at all. And here it is, God has given you a larger than life goal to follow, and you'll throw it out the window all because somebody said your idea is stupid. You want to know something, guys? The best dreams that I've had in my life was always rejected by other people. When I said that I wanted to come to Texas initially, people called me crazy. They said, what kind of loser would get out of Los Angeles, California, one of the nicest places in the world, and then go all the way out to Texas? Who does that? And then, lo and behold, years later, what do you see in the news? Everybody's moving to Texas. California's expensive as hell. Everybody's going homeless. Everybody having to live with their mama. And then all of a sudden, Texas became the thing. But some people are able to see around corners. There's a certain corner right now that God is showing you that nobody else can see. And instead of having the courage to walk boldly in your vision, you tell the vision to somebody else with no vision and no foresight at all. And then the dream gets squandered. It never comes to the light of day. And you know what? You'll be sitting up watching TV 3 years from now. And on the very next commercial, you'll notice somebody took your dream and they brought it to reality. And now they're sitting on the money that you should have got, all because you didn't have the courage to walk in that vision yourself. See, one thing that I can respect about Elon Musk is the things that he's building. He's not waiting for everybody else to co-sign it. He has the vision. He's willing to put in his everything, put in his all, time, money, energy, stress, whatever, to get it off the ground. How are you focusing on building the future of your dreams? See, you don't have to be Elon Musk and want to put people on Mars. What does your future look like? What is your futuristic thought? What does that look like for you? Whatever that does look like, you got to put it in motion because nobody else knows but you. The fifth thing that we're going to talk about, you've got to be ubiquitous. I keep saying this word even though I shouldn't because nobody knows what this word means. You've got to be ubiquitous. Ubiquitous, 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 ubiquitous. Ubiquitous means everybody gets what you're giving. If you're trying to make real money, you can't just have 1 or 2 customers. Not unless what you're selling is $1 million a pop. When you look at McDonald's, notice what they say on their signs: billions served. That's the reason why McDonald's makes $1 billion. If you want to make millions, you got to serve millions. Or you've got to tie yourself into a high impact activity. Let me tell you guys the reason why my real estate is worth over $1 million. It's because my real estate offers people a lot of value. I have one real estate property that's in North Austin. This is one of the highest valued places in the United States. It's slowly becoming one of the highest valued places in the world. So if I can offer you something in that location, I'm giving you high impact. I'm not telling you you're going to be living out in the slums somewhere. I'm telling you you're going to be next to the soccer stadium. You're going to be next to this top shopping plaza. You're going to be next to Apple and all these different companies. Even if you're not dealing with 1 million people head on, you can still give $1 million worth of value. Okay. These are things that you really, really must understand. And you got to understand what your path is going to look like. Elon Musk is giving out things of value and he's distributing them to a lot of people. It's not just 1 or 2 people buying Teslas. People are buying Teslas all over the world. I mean, there's waiting lines for Tesla. There's waiting lists for Teslas. So you got to think about what is it that you can build that can help to change the world. When you look at McDonald's, Tesla, Apple, these companies are coming out with products that is of value and service to everyone. And not everyone will buy it, but they are so prominent and they have so many customers. Obviously, the numbers is going to reflect in their favor. Y'all might have a product, but if nobody knows about it, how are you going to sell? How are you going to make money from it? It's got to be ubiquitous, guys. That's if you're trying to do it on the Elon Musk multi-billion-dollar level. You know, some of you guys, you can make millions of dollars by getting into a very effective niche where it ain't got to be 1 billion people doing it. It doesn't even have to be both genders doing it. Look at the gym called Curves. They made millions of dollars just by having a gym for ladies. So you just got to think, guys, how can you put yourself in a space that works for you, that makes you obsessed, but is something that enough people will want in order to create generational wealth for you and your family? Okay. Like I said, for me, the reason why I do these videos is because I could do tonight's show one time and I'm going to get geometric growth in watching the video. Meaning I could do this video right now, record it, and get a certain number of views. Tomorrow, more people will watch it, and then more people will watch it, and more people will watch it. You got to figure out what thing you can do that's going to continue to give you good results. Let's talk about the number 6 things. Let's keep these comments coming, y'all. For those of y'all that are just now joining, we're talking about how Elon Musk built his wealth. We're talking about what Elon Musk knows about generational wealth. This is the Generational Wealth podcast. So this is the perfect place to talk about it. Please make sure that y'all smash that like button. Please make sure that you subscribe. If you've not yet subscribed to this channel, please make sure that you do so. And also, if you like this channel and you love where it's going, please make sure that you donate. All you got to do is tap that dollar icon directly below. Okay. So now let's talk about this next thing. If you want to be successful, you have to take tremendous risks. Elon Musk took tremendous levels of risks in order to get his companies off the ground. See, guys, here's the reason why I can respect him. Elon Musk said that when he sold off PayPal after building that up, he took his money and put $100 million in SpaceX, $70 million in Tesla, and $10 million in Solar City. These are all his companies. He put so much money into these companies that he had to borrow money for rent. Now, the question is, what if you had $180 million in your bank account today? What would you do with it? Would you put it towards 3 different companies that you're trying to get off the ground? Would you put it towards one? Or would you say, oh, mama, I made it. You get a house, you get a house, you get a house, you get a car, you get a car, you get a car. A lot of y'all would have been trying to be like the Oprah show up in here, trying to buy everybody, everything, then wonder why you back to being broke. Then wonder why you're back to the 9 to 5, because it's not about how much money you make, it's about how much money you keep. There's a reason why so many people play the lottery year after year, and then they go back to being in the poorhouse a few years later, is because they don't understand financial principles. They don't have financial IQ. You got to have a bit of discipline. You got to know, okay, you know what? I could spend the money on this, this, and this, but I'm going to put it towards this instead. I mean, even look at Floyd Mayweather with all of the different toys that he has. You know what he's been talking about a lot lately? Investing in real estate. Floyd owns like 6 different skyscrapers in New York City. I was driving through Austin earlier today. I'm passing by Mayweather Boxing Gym. I said, damn, I need to check this out. I didn't even know that this was up here. Wealthy people take tremendous risks. They're willing to risk their money on a big venture. They're willing to risk getting out of their 9 to 5. They're willing to risk whatever it takes for them to reach their fullest potential, for them to get to the highest level of themselves that they can imagine. They will lay it all on the line. But a lot of us, you know how we do. Oh, well, you know what? I don't want to mess things up. I don't want to rock the boat. As long as I get this nice little secure job and I get this comfortable check, I'm not going to do anything to mess it up. And this is why the rich are getting richer. It's because they're willing to take risks that others are not willing to take. There's a reason why the middle class is being cut down, guys. I hope y'all see this. If y'all have been watching my shows in the previous months, I was warning y'all about inflation. I was warning y'all about the haves and the have-nots, and the wealth gap is only getting wider by the day. Now, see, what you got to do if you're really trying to level up is you got to ask yourself, what risks am I willing to take? Because there were a lot of people that became billionaires who once worked at a 9 to 5 job with good salaries. Jeff Bezos is one of them. Jeff Bezos, before he started Amazon, was working on Wall Street, making a 6-figure salary. And even though he could have stayed in that profession, he had an idea about selling books online, and he was so driven by that idea and that opportunity that he was willing to risk it all to follow that passion. And look at where he is today. And y'all want to know something that's honestly very hard but true? There was probably somebody else that was just as driven as Jeff Bezos, just as imaginative, and for whatever reason, his thing didn't take off. But you'll never know what side of the coin you'll end up on if you never try. You know, not everybody is about to quit their jobs and become the next millionaires and billionaires. Some of y'all need to stay exactly where you are. But all high performance people are willing to take risks. And when Jeff Bezos was asked about why he took his risk, he said at the end of the day, even if Amazon flopped, he could not live with the idea of having never tried. He would be willing to lose money, but he did not want to lose his life having never tried to truly follow his dreams. And this is something for us all to pick up. You know, it's not just in Jeff Bezos, it's not just in Elon Musk, but I show you guys these different examples of different people to inspire you to walk in your calling. So the number 7 thing that we need to know about the secrets of Elon's success is that he is very bold when it comes to standing out. It's not even so much about standing out, guys, when it comes to Elon Musk. Elon Musk is a trendsetter. You got to be a trendsetter if you want to operate on this kind of level. You can't look to what everybody is doing and copy, repeat, copy, repeat. You've got to take things to the next level beyond what it is. Now, a lot of you guys, you're always wondering, you know, how do I start a business? Because I have to have all of these great ideas. The problem with a lot of you guys is you're thinking that you need to start an idea based upon some random invention instead of simply looking at what's already in the marketplace and making it better. When you study Netflix didn't just take an idea out of thin air. They looked at the movie rental industry and they said, well, what's next? If people are already renting movies in stores, well, why don't we send the movie to them? When you look at Tesla, Tesla isn't making automobiles. They're just streamlining how these automobiles are powered. It looks very innovative on the surface, and in many ways it is, but they're not just building their own foundation. They're standing on the shoulders of giants. They're looking at the people that have come before them, and they're simply asking, how do I make this better? How do I make the car better? How do I make a movie better? How do I make a shoe better? There's all these different things. So if you guys want to know how to really wreck the industry, you've got to stand out by being a trendsetter. And don't be afraid if people aren't checking for you in 1 or 2 years. It takes time. The average business is going to take a loss for 5 years straight before it is ever profitable. So guys, these are all the secrets. These are all the gems. Lupe said, word of the day, ubiquitous, appearing or found everywhere. Thank you for that. And shout out to Lupe for helping us out, y'all, on the definitions. This is how your product needs to be. If you're trying to be at Elon Musk level, you find Teslas everywhere. You get in the car, you drive in your nearby highways, you're going to see a Tesla on the freeway. Ubiquitous is something that you put out. Everybody sees it. Everybody knows it. Everybody's trying to get it. Just like iPhones, just like Jordans, just like all these different things that are household names. It all started by somebody's vision. Okay. Also, guys, I'm going to put out the link real quick. If y'all want to cam up with me and get on the panel, let me know what y'all think about tonight's podcast. Let me know what you think about how Elon Musk built his wealth, and if there are any lessons or principles that you can take away from his strategies to create generational wealth for you and your household. Okay, I'm putting the link in the comments below. Now, going back to what we were talking about, you got to know how to stand out. And another thing that you must do if you want to study Elon's success is you got to stop listening to the critics. Guys, anybody that's doing anything significant in this life will be criticized significantly. Anybody that's out here really trying to make something of themselves is going to be critiqued by other people. They're going to have haters. They're going to have other people preying on their downfall. And if that's too much for you, then maybe having this level of success, you're not built for it. You might dream about the success, but are you ready to get the hate mail? Are you ready to have all these different news articles telling you that your thing is about to flop? That's what happened to Tesla. For a lot of the people that invested in Tesla last year, there were a lot of news outlets that was discouraging them, saying that Tesla was overpriced. And you know what I was telling people last year? Tesla is on sale. Tesla's going up. Now, let me clear that up online because I got to put out this disclaimer. I am not a licensed investment advisor. These shows are purely entertainment. What you do with your investment decisions is up to you. Now that I got that out the way, I was telling people, I got this Tesla stock. I see it going places. And then lo and behold, what happened? Tesla stock was going up and going up and going up. But if you're constantly, look at what people said about Bitcoin. Look at how many people criticize the idea of cryptocurrency. And then you had all these teenagers becoming millionaires, all on the strength of getting in this crypto game. Guys, there's going to be critics at every turn. You got to block that out and you got to lock in. Elon Musk get a lot of critics. He's even been critiqued by people who've claimed to be on the moon, who've went to the moon and back. So you just got to block it out. Ignore the haters. We all have them. Focus on what you got to do and get to the next level. Okay. In fact, I would argue that if you don't have enough haters, you're not moving in the right direction. I'll know that I'm becoming more successful based upon the amount of hate that I get. I will know if my vision is really taking off based upon the amount of people that reject it. Because when I wasn't about anything, people didn't have nothing to say. But when I started focusing on winning, that's when the hate came. Block out the critics, y'all. One of the big reasons why they're critiquing is because they don't have the heart to do big things like you. Number 9, we almost done. Putting massive hours into the company. Elon Musk, he does not lie about how he gets the bag. You get all these people talking about how they make money from the beach, how they're getting money on vacation. Elon's like, nah, I never go on vacation. Elon Musk, he'll tell you, I put in 100 hours of work every week. And that's intense. I didn't had some pretty intense weeks, y'all. How many of those weeks was 100-hour weeks? Ooh, I don't know. You got to really go for it if you're trying to get on that Elon level. And see, it goes back to what I was saying earlier. It's not just about putting 100 hours towards anything. You got to put 100 hours towards what you're obsessed about. Because if you're not obsessed with something, you're not going to put 100 hours towards it in the first place. But you know what? There's so many people that think that obsession is a bad thing. They're not even going to get close to putting in 50 hours towards their vision. Think about the people that have really done things iconic in this life. The people that did that were obsessed. Jesus Christ, obsessed about his mission, obsessed about preaching the gospel. Think about Walt Disney, obsessed with, think about how many times Walt Disney had been rejected for trying to put out his cartoons, but he kept pursuing it until he got on. Dr. Seuss, Cat in the Hat was rejected like 20 plus times before it ever got published. So a lot of y'all, you will look at things and you'll only see the end product and assume, oh man, it must have been so easy to get that off the ground. You know, who wouldn't want to sponsor that? Who wouldn't want to invest in that? And lo and behold, you don't see how all of these great inventions came on the back of failures, setbacks, rejections, heartbreak, bankruptcies, foreclosures. You got guys putting in 100 hours a week towards their dreams, only for people to come back and say they got lucky. The harder you work, the luckier you get. Last but not least, you've got to read. Elon Musk was an avid reader. Elon Musk went on record and said that he read the entire Encyclopedia Britannica as a kid. The average CEO reads over 50 books a year. Why? Because they're always learning how to get to the next level. See, if you're only focused on the things that you know from 5 years ago, how can you stay current in the industry? How can you be a technology leader based upon the technology that came out in 2010? Now, you got to always think about, okay, what's the industry going to look like in 5 years, 10 years down the line? You got to research that. Warren Buffett in his prime would read 800 pages a day. Y'all saw I put out a video on this channel about why I read a book a week. All successful people are learners. They are learning machines because there is so much that we don't know. And a truly wise person is wise only when he understands that he doesn't know anything. If you feel like you know it all, you're done. But you got to read because readers are leaders. So guys, those are the 10 things. You've got to care about your vision more than being rich. You've got to understand how to think big. You've got to be willing to solve big problems. You've got to build the future that you want. Nobody else understands your vision but you. You've got to be ubiquitous. Your thing's got to be out there for the world to see. And that takes guts. And you got to be willing to take a lot of risks, just like Elon Musk did. He wasn't focusing on putting money towards rent. He was trying to put money towards his companies. You got to be willing to stand out so much that you become a trendsetter. You got to block out the haters. You got to put massive hours because all successful people have put in over 10,000 plus hours before they became a master of their craft. Look at your top musicians. Look at your top artists. They all got there by relentless effort. Last but not least, you've got to read. You readers are leaders. You've got to have the knowledge of how this person did this and how that person was able to do that. So that way you can take all of that information to make better decisions. And guys, this isn't not even about having $300 billion. If you can study the top 10 keys to success from a multi-billionaire, this can help you create generational wealth just by having a few 100,000 to $1 million. You don't have to be filthy rich. You just have to be beyond where you are today. So hopefully you guys enjoyed all of these gems on Elon Musk, and leave me a comment to let me know. Let me know. Listen, guys, I put up a link just in case y'all want to cam up. Tell me what you thought about today's episode. What do y'all think about these 10 keys? Leave me a comment below and let me know which key you like the most and tell me how you felt about that. Even if you're not watching this live, leave me a comment. I try to check out all the comments and respond to as many as I can. Leave me a comment and let me know what you guys had as your favorite out of those 10 keys and why you felt like that one was so critical. Okay, guys? Listen, man, I'm happy to be back. I'm hoping to get a lot more shows going. Y'all keep praying for me, man. Keep praying that this baby don't keep me up all night so I can have the energy to do these shows day after day. But listen, man, there's a lot more content that must get out on this podcast. If you guys want to work with me so that you can have insurance for your family, leave me an email. I'm going to put a link to my email in the comments below. One of the biggest ways to create generational wealth is through life insurance. Now, a lot of y'all know that when you look in certain cultures, they have life insurance. They have it for themselves. They have it for their children, their children's children. Also, that way they have assets to pass down. Unfortunately, a lot of us don't have life insurance. So if we pass away, we're not going to be leaving much behind. Guys, we're living in crazy times, y'all. I'm not trying to make things sound bleak and tell you, oh man, you'll be gone tomorrow, but tomorrow's promised to nobody. And I know for myself, I'll be damned if I have a child that the Lord allows to be brought on this earth and not have anything from a father's legacy. A good man is going to leave behind an inheritance to his children's children. So if you guys want to work with me, I can help you get your insurance and sign you up because I am a licensed insurance agent. That's right. I don't just spend all day on here bumping my gums about how to be successful. I'm actually taking people from the podcast and signing them up with real policies. If you want to be one of them, make sure that you check out my email and contact me. I'm putting the information below. This is going to be really, really important, guys. Game changing for you and your families. We got to focus on creating generational wealth. And the greatest thing about life insurance is that you don't even have to make a ton of money in order to leave a lot behind. Okay. The policies could be of a very high amount that's far beyond what you make in a salary. For Gore says, my favorite was the last but not least is reading. Oh, okay, that's awesome. Glad that you like that reading one. Yes, reading is very, very key. And it's funny because that reminded me of the question that came in a little bit earlier from Biosphere as a Geek. What education helped you feel free to live in this way? It's the books. My primary book of choice is the Holy Bible because there are so many lessons on how to succeed in this life and the next. So many stories, so many gems. There's so many guys right now who have built wealth whose teachings are based on from the Bible. So, like it says, none shall want her mate. That's at the top. In terms of any general books, The Magic of Thinking Big, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Think and Grow Rich. You know, there's so many different books that are out there, guys, and some of them are great and some of them are not so great. But when you take the time to read and study the right books, it can help you get a lot farther ahead because the author is taking decades of learning through trial and error as experts, and they're putting it into 200 pages of learning, condensing 20 years into 2 weeks worth of reading. So with that being said, guys, I've got this for you. See, it's not just about, okay, well, Napoleon Hill. I'm giving you guys lessons that's based upon how to succeed in the modern day. Okay. Wow. Somebody said, Somalian from Sweden. Shout out to Sweden. Sweden is in the house, y'all. Listen, man, we going global, man. We are going global. So please continue to share these podcasts. Obviously, the message is getting out. Thank you so much for the support. Once again, thank you guys for the donations. If you made a donation through Cash App or PayPal during the show, please leave me a comment and let me know so that way I can check it out and show you guys some love. But if you guys are trying to learn how to read, you need to check out the How to Succeed Survival Guide. If you guys are trying to figure out the secrets to success, check out my free book. Guys, I'm giving away this book for free. All you got to do is click the link in the comments below, put in your name, put where you are, tell me how to ship it to you, and then this book is yours, okay? In this book, I'm showing you guys how I paid off over $95,000 in student loans 2 years after graduating from Baylor University. I'm showing you guys how I retired from corporate America in my 20s to become a business owner. I'm trying to educate the community as much as I can on how to build generational wealth. And all I ask is for you to take the first step, okay? Here's the link in the description below, in the comments below. All you got to do is click that link, tell me your address, and then the book is on the way. My brother Akaman with the $20 sponsorship. Thank you, King. Really appreciate you, my man. Thank you for setting us off on the right track. I'm happy to be back. My brother Malo Walaki 40 with the $20 sponsorship said, my favorite is obsession and passionate about your craft. You know, I can see that when it comes to you, my brother, because I can tell that you are passionate about your craft, and it shows. Like I said, I don't know if you saw the very beginning of the podcast, man, but I gave you a shout out. And I said, man, I want to move to Louisiana just to get my car washed by you, man, and in how you do it, because there's just so much quality. There's so much value, man. I be going to these car washes here in Austin, and I be telling them, man, you got to redo my car, man. You ain't really get out all these things. I'm paying you, but you're not really putting your love into it. You really do it on that level, my brother, and I appreciate you for your passion, not only for your craft, but also about your community. That shows as well, and I thank you for that, my brother. So thank you once again for that $20 sponsorship. Always appreciate the love. Listen, y'all, I'm out. It's been an incredible evening. For those of y'all that are watching this podcast for the very first time, please make sure that you subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you can receive an alert whenever I do another show. I'm going to have another show coming again very soon, Lord willing. Until next time, y'all, keep pushing.